What's up, YouTube? Welcome. It's Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. I am back today. I told you I was going to try to come back Friday, but Friday is booked. So I had this time today, so here I am. And I want to share with you 7 common mistakes that classically trained singers make when learning commercial styles. That's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So y'all know my audience is classically trained singers, those of you who trained in universities. You sing opera, you sing art song, but you want to expand your vocal skill set and you want to sing some more contemporary styles, and you're trying to learn how to navigate that from a Western classical foundation, okay? And there are some differences. I talk a lot about these things on my channel, and so today we're going to talk about some common mistakes, because those are the singers I work with, those are the singers that I serve, and there are some common things that I see coming up, so I want to talk about it. So hello, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. My water's almost gone, but I'm going to take a sip. And we're going to hop on in. So the first mistake, and I'm going to also tell y'all how to fix it, okay? Some of this is kind of self-explanatory. But the first mistake, classical singers, we're singing too loud. Y'all, we come up in here trying to sing this commercial style music, and we are just singing too loudly. And I think some of it is we're not really realizing that when you sing contemporary styles, it's amplified singing. You're going to have a mic. So that means you can lay back and relax a little bit. It's not like opera where you're trying to cut through an orchestra. You're unamplified. You got to use all your, acoustical, natural stuff. No, it's not like that. Okay. So you got to learn. You can turn the volume down just a little bit, and it's not going to take away the effectiveness. It's not going to take away the power, right? But you just turn it down because you're learning to let your resonance do the work and not you projecting, manually making this stuff louder. It's just not required, okay? Because you have a microphone to help you out. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, and that too is a little bit of a mindset shift. The second mistake that I see is that we're too self-conscious about our voice, okay? When we're crossing over to sing commercial styles, we're still in that classical kind of frame of thinking where there are all of these rules that govern correct sounds, and we want to make sure that our vowels are proper and that the palate is this and all of this in our head, right? And we're going for this perfect sound, but that's not needed in contemporary styles. In contemporary styles, a lot of times it's the imperfection that makes you interesting. It's the unique quirks about your voice that makes you marketable to a label, or that makes you interesting to listeners. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a mindset shift, but you can get out of your head about having this perfect sound. There are not so many rules that govern sounds. You create sounds and you pick sounds that serve the lyric or the story that you're trying to communicate. So there's much more freedom. Okay. So that's the second mistake. The third mistake, y'all, we use too much vibrato. Too much vibrato. That is a specific classical operatic style trait. You know what I'm saying? We need all of the, flow and all the freedom, and there's vibrato on every note, and that's beautiful and fitting for Western classical. When you come over and sing commercial music, you got to cut that vibrato. It's more straight tone, less air flowing through the vocal cords, okay? And that actually, to your listener, it gives a beltier sound. It gives a more powerful sound when you have less vibrato. So you got to get comfortable with straight tone, okay? So I'm not saying you don't use vibrato at all, but you're not using it on every single pitch like you are in classical. Welcome to you guys who are joining. I would love for you to drop in the chat. Where are you joining me from? Put where you're from. You can put your name if you want to, but thank you for being here. Where am I at? Number 4. So the fourth mistake is that we're singing stuff too legato. I get it. Again, in classical singing, especially some of the like the romantic era, we've got all these lush bel canto lines and all of this, baby. I get it. But when you're singing commercial music, that is not the style, okay? It is much more conversational, less presentational. It is not all about the beauty of your legato line. It is about how effective of a storyteller are you. You know, it's about what can you do with this phrase and these lyrics to make me feel something in my heart and in my soul. That's what it's about, okay? So we can relax on some of the legato when we're crossing over from singing opera to singing more pop styles, okay? All right, the fifth mistake is, I already said this, we're too much in our head and not enough connected to our heart, okay? So again, when we come from these classical backgrounds, training in universities, a lot of the pedagogical approaches or the teaching approaches can get us very heady. We get in our intellect. We want to make sure everything is correct, and you got to make sure everything is correct. If you're trying to pass your juries, if you're auditioning for opera companies, you know, you've got to have all these things in your mind. But when you're singing commercial music, it is much more heart driven. It is much more emphasized and focused on the emotion that you can provoke out of your listener, the emotion that you can bring forth out of them. It's much more focused on that. So you can relax a little bit with the pedagogy, all in the heady, petty pedagogy stuff, you know. You can relax a little bit on that, and you can go back to just these everyday sounds that you make, you know, just speech level sounds. Connecting to that speech level is a huge key when you're crossing over from singing classical music to singing commercial styles, okay? Classical singing is not speech-like. Classical singing is very presentational, but commercial styles are very conversational and speech-like. So you gotta reconnect with your speech level singing when you're doing commercial styles or pop styles, okay? So the sixth mistake, welcome to you guys. The sixth mistake, this is a big one. Hyper extending chest voice, trying to get a belty sound. And this right here is pretty much why I created my basics of mix and belt course, which I'll talk about here in a second. But this is the thing, when we're coming from classical music and operatic backgrounds, we listen to these contemporary singers, we're listening to them, and we hear this power belty sound, and we think our ears are telling us that they are dragging their chest voice up so high to make this power-packed sound. And because we don't know anything about mixed voice, usually, now I'm not saying everybody, but most singers that come through a university voice program don't know much or anything about mixed voice. And we definitely ain't learning about no pharyngeal resonance. You know what I'm saying? So all we know and all we think is that these singers are muscling through and they're dragging their chest voice. But that is incorrect, okay? The way that we sing powerfully in commercial styles without straining and pulling is through mixed voice. It's developing a power-packed mixed voice that's going to give you cut. It's going to give you a sharp sound. It's going to give you a powerful sound through resonance, not through you pulling in the larynx, okay? So that's one thing. That's a huge thing. That's number 7. And then, that's number 6. And the 7th mistake is audibly flipping from chest voice into an operatic head voice, okay? And that kind of goes along with what I was saying about mixed voice, but this more so is dealing with the bridges. So I'm going to share with you guys a comment that I found online from a classical singer. And I know some of you, especially you male singers, you might be experiencing the same thing. So I want to share this and give a little exercise and an example of how to fix it. So he says, hi, I'm a classically trained baritone with a comfortable range, all of that. That doesn't really matter. Let me see the part that I want to start. So he said, recently, I've been trying to expand my repertoire and learn to sing non-classically, but I have to say I'm totally stuck when it comes to mixing. This is what I'm telling y'all, because we don't learn about mixing in universities. When I look at videos explaining what people are doing and try to apply the same things, I can't help but either go to falsetto or cover the sound, which obviously makes and also mostly uses my chest head voice. Okay. So he says, has anyone had this same problem? What is the difference that I should feel between the two? I do know that covering doesn't expand your range nearly as much as mixing, and the tone should be different, but I don't really know where to start. Can any of y'all relate to that? You know, me as a female, now, you know, female thing, we don't do a lot of covering and stuff, but I understand that, young man, like, what I know the tone quality is supposed to be different, but all I know to do is to make my sound woofier through covering. No. The answer is pharyngeal resonance. The answer is you're not flipping into a falsetto or a weak head voice, and you're definitely not pulling up chest. The answer is locking into the pharyngeal resonance so you can blend that into your chest voice and into your head voice so you have a nice mix sound that packs power. Okay, so an exercise for you gentlemen, you classically trained gentlemen, if you're struggling with that, flipping into a covered sound, here's an exercise that you can do, an isolated pharyngeal exercise. Let me start you right here. Okay, so you can do a meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. This is for guys. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, so right up there on that D, right? That's right under your bridge, especially if you're a baritone. You're going to start to feel some stuff shifting. Don't go to a classical cover. Don't do this. Meow, 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 meow. That's a covered sound that he was talking about. That does not sound contemporary. Instead, you want to keep it wide. It's going to feel different for you, but just go with it and make it whiny like a baby. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Or it's like a cartoon voice. Just imitate a cartoon character. Let's keep going up, guys. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. So that's where y'all would flip, for real, because that's that E4 area baritones. Don't flip. Meow. Go spread. Okay, here we go. Higher. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, so that's an exercise that you can use to start experimenting with pharyngeal resonance, because that is going to be the answer for not dragging chest voice up and not flipping into a head voice. It's going to be the pharyngeal resonance quality. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Another exercise that you guys can do in this bridge area for you, because remember, I always tell y'all, for male singers, and if you're not a male watching this, if you are a female voice teacher or you have a desire to teach, this is helpful information for you to have too, because when these men come in your studio and they want to sing this stuff but they don't know what to do, you'll have some resources and some knowledge. Okay, so I'll start right here. So another one you can do, guys, monkey noises right in that bridge area. So that's gonna be ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. Go down. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. Ooh, ooh, ah, 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 ah. And guys, get comfortable. Open. It's a full open mouth position. We don't do this in classical, but this is the difference. One of the differences between the styles, right? If you want to sound more contemporary and less classical, you got to be vulnerable to just open up that mouth. Ah, you got to go there. Okay, here we go. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. One more, guys. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. Okay, so those are two exercises you can do to get moving in that pharyngeal resonance. So my basics of mix and belt course starts January the 11th, starts back. This will be my 4th cohort. And this course is 4 weeks live with me working on mixing and belting and some of the things I just talked about. And there's a section in my course where I specifically talk about men belting. And it's really powerful, especially if you're a man that comes from a classical background, okay? But in the course, the first 2 weeks are spent on the basics of mixed voice, giving you clarity and confidence and targeted exercises around how to mix, right? What is this thing? How do I do it? And how do I know that the sound is right for CCM styles? Okay. So those are the first 2 weeks. The first week is a lecture. The second week you come in, you bring in a song. It's like a master class. The second 2 weeks, same thing, but with belting. We learn about the basics of belt. What is it? What is it not? Or what it's not? We break down myths and misconceptions that universities have taught us about belting that make us afraid to go and just sing this music that our heart really wants to sing, and that is some of the most natural singing that we could do. We have to hit those mindsets around it so your voice can open up. And then that fourth week, we sing again some belting songs, and it's a live masterclass. Okay. So if you're a classically trained singer, or if you are a professional level contemporary style artist and you want to work with me in a group setting with some one-on-one side work on mixing and belting, I want you to DM me Mix on Instagram right now. Go to my Instagram. It's Amplify Vocal Studio. DM the word mix, and we can see if this course would be a fit for you. You can also click the link in my description. If you want to send in an application, it is application only. You can click the link and apply. Okay, again, we start January the 11th, and it's 4 weeks on a bi-weekly rotation. Now, I'm telling you, this is the most cost-effective way to get one-on-one time with me dealing with this. Okay, if you try to just do private lessons, you are going to spend much more than getting into this group setting that has built-in one-on-one in it. Okay, so I'm here to help y'all master this stuff. I know y'all want to sing this commercial music. I get it. I've been there. I understand. And I'm really honored to come alongside you and guide you and serve you in this way to help you sing this music that the industry really is requiring that you know how to sing today. Okay, so that's it. My time is up. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. I'm going to get a sip of water. Drop your questions or comments. Any takeaways, replay watchers, what's up? Y'all drop y'all's questions and comments too. When you guys catch the replay, or if there are any other topics that you are struggling with vocally as it pertains to mixing and belting, feel free to drop those and I will consider those. I can't guarantee I will talk about your topic, but if there are some things that you want to know more about or you want to get my perspective on as a voice coach, feel free to drop those in the chat and then I will consider and I'll respond. Okay, nobody's saying anything and I'm 2 minutes over in 23 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. This is it for this week. I'll be back next week with some more content, but DM me Mix on Instagram if you're interested in the course, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.